Last time I posted about my kitchen update, y'all had a lot of questions about the side paneling I put on my cabinets. So I'm going to show you how I did it. I started with 1x6 prime pine and used pocket holes and wood glue to join them together. Actually, I started with measuring the space on the end of my cabinet. And then I glued on brown board on the back of this frame that I built. And then I set a bunch of heavy stuff on there while it dried. Normally I would route out a space on the back of that frame for the brown board to set flush, but I needed it to stick out a bit. You'll see why in a minute. And of course I couldn't just leave it plain. I had to add some decorative trim in there, right? I got all this cut down with my miter saw and test fit before I glued them in. And glue is all that's holding those together, but glue is super strong, trust me. I put together 2 of those panels and let those dry. Now, I know y'all love my pewter green cabinets, but I'm getting tired of them, so I'm going to paint them white. This is what my kitchen looked like when we first moved in, and we put boxes up there and then brought the cabinets to the ceiling and then painted them all green. How do y'all like my painting setup here? My dining room, my kitchen, my living room, everything is covered in cabinet doors. You gotta work with the space you have, right? And just kidding, I couldn't paint these beautiful cabinets white. It's actually been about 5 years since I sprayed these cabinets the first time, and they needed a slight touch up. And side note, do gnats have a purpose? And this time I'm adding a clear coat, and I didn't do that the first time. If you're gonna paint your cabinets, I highly recommend using a clear coat as well. I didn't realize what a difference it would make, honestly. And of course, since I'm redoing the doors, I had to redo the cabinet boxes as well. A little workaround I did, since this sticks, the face frame sticks out past the edge of the cabinet right here, I added on this is about the same thickness, I guess, as this, so that evens it out, so that way it will be even. Also, another reason I chose to redo the cabinet doors right now is because I'm removing all the old hinges and adding soft close hinges, because duh. But when I test fit this panel, when I looked on the front, you could see that the white was behind there, so I had to take them off and go back and paint that edge. I did this on both, and then while those were drying, I went and removed the baseboard so that way I could fit these to the wall. And because I didn't want to damage the cabinet sides, I did not use glue, I just used my brad nailer. Then of course I put the baseboards back into place. Again, no glue. Fun fact, when I first started installing baseboards, I was using glue. Don't do that. You live, you learn, and you also learn that walls are never straight. They're always janky. Also, while I was updating these cabinet doors and their hinges, I decided to add legs onto the bottom of my cabinet. So here's where we were before the fancy side panelings and now. I feel like they made such a huge difference, and so did the feet on the cabinet. This was what it looked like before. I mean, maybe it's a little bit more difficult to clean, but it's worth it in my opinion. But for everybody freaking out about crumbs getting behind the feet, I did put blocks back there so they can't actually get behind the feet, only in the middle of them. But do what you want in your kitchen. And side note, I did add oak drawers that I built myself to my cabinets. Most of my projects are functional and not just pretty. If you like fun DIYs and home projects, follow me for more.